Hello everybody, welcome to Let's Play Revelation Online. I'm your host Daveapow, and so I know I haven't really been posting much. Even though I do have pre-recorded stuff that I could be posting, I just haven't been. Whatever, enough about that. So this game I've been playing quite a lot, as you can kind of see. I'm level 51. This will probably be less of an actual going through and playing through all that stuff, because that'd be something you do streaming and all that. Probably just, you know, some tutorial videos, go through some dungeons and stuff. So the server I'm playing on is the North American server Tusenwood, if that's how you pronounce it. And I kind of just want to go over some of the basics, you know, in the game. So I mean, the class I play as is a sword mage, which kind of the interesting thing is this. So they have this thing called elemental rhythm, which mainly this skill and this skill gets changed depending on what element you're on. So I mainly use Storm one because that is damage over time effect. So like this one, it'll fling a giant shuriken. Yes, that's a shuriken. I don't care what you say. At the opponent, and as soon as it hits them, it puts like a little lightning thing there, and over time, you know, for 5 seconds, 1300 damage. Well, you don't have to be a genius to realize that every 0.5 seconds for 5 seconds, that is 10 hits of 1317, 13k damage. That is almost triple what the other two would possibly do. So fire is more for like burst damage, you know, ice is more for, you know, movement speed reductions and stuns. So you got Searing Wake, which also kind of, it puts that, you can change it, as you can see. Wait, lightning orb, you know, fire state, a burning state, you know, a frozen state, or an electrocution. So, you know, you can just swap between the three and all that good fun stuff. I mainly use Storm because that's the highest power. Like over time, it deals the most damage. Now, one thing that's interesting that you don't really see much in other games is that although these are the left click and right click, let me pull up the skills menu here. I can put whatever skills I want under left click and right click. So I'm going to keep that Lambent Bolt and Temporary Celestial Aegis, which is, I don't know why it's called that. It should just be called Celestial Aegis, but, you know, whatever. So now that, since we're on the skills already, you don't right away get to, you know, determine where you're going to put all your skills and such. It does it automatically. I actually forgot what level it starts to allow you to. But you'll eventually be able to, it'll allow you to like reset them and then put things where you want to. And this will cost Imperial Notes, which is kind of like the bound currency. You get those from certain dungeons and quests that you do. So once you do that, next you got special skills, which is the stuff in the Fs. The one on F1 is the only one you get for free, and I'll actually show you where you go to actually purchase all these other ones. And so as you're seeing, you know, you're like, what the hell is all of this? So first off, each use adds XP to it. So I barely get anything right here. Actually, I can use special skill pages, which I might, because since I have all 6 of these, I don't think I have a need for the special. These ones are kind of, they're like the 3-star ones. I'll actually look up. I know I've seen the NPC, but I'll eventually look up where the NPC is just to show you, because I don't exactly remember at the moment. But yeah, each use gets a level up on here, and not only that, you eventually, I also forget what level you get. I think it's level 29, because of something else that we'll go over. So this little skill tree, so you use it, you kill monsters. It first starts off just 1,000 monsters, you know, I think it's for these 3, and then this one, it's like 800 monsters, and then you have to kill 200 in a certain raid. And then obviously as it gives more and more people to kill, and you can kind of choose what you want to increase, and it'll tell you what you need to do it. So this one, there's a Situs Dows, which you get. I'll tell you what little. You can't really call it a dungeon. It's just a temporary grind area that you can go for XP. The mobs have a chance of dropping these. So you can get them, as you can see, 35. Just depending on where you go for it. I actually didn't know that I had enough to learn that. I didn't think it was going to do that. So you can go to Reform Dow right here. So I want increased skill damage. And the cool thing is, if you form the Dow, all of the type of essences you used get saved. So you don't actually spend any additional. I didn't know that was going to allow me to learn that. But, you know, I'm just going to keep it on this one just for 3 seconds. I might decide at a later time when I get more into PvP to kind of increase that. But yeah, as you can see, these kind of changeaways here, like this one, I'm only going to do one because this skill lasts a long time. Like, it lasts a long time. That's why I did it the first one. The damage per second doesn't justify the amount of time that is lost, but it's a skill that goes on for 30 seconds. So I was like, you know what, why not decrease it by 10 seconds, you know. You can get out of it whenever, but give it a slight damage boost. Also, I can, you know, lifesteal. So I kind of like the idea that I can pop this, hit a whole bunch of enemies in the area, and just reap massive amount of HP. And then like this one, targets received healing effects. So, you know, this one, what I've been focusing on as I can is magic defense reduction. Only makes it easier for me to kill stuff. So that's enough about special skills. You can get flying skills while you're flying. I haven't really cared because this would probably only be pertinent in PvP, because I have not run against any sort of dungeon or quest or anything that kind of requires you to fly in combat. So that's whatever. And then once you get to 49, you unlock this thing called skill cultivation. And at first I was like, where the hell do I find this? And like, you look it up and no one wants to be direct as to where you find it. It's this little button right here. I accidentally eventually stumbled upon it. So you got talent points. So it costs Imperial Notes and Excelsior, which you just get from dungeons and such. But the Excelsior can be, you know, supplemented with your actual, you know, EXP down here. So you get the talent points and you go through and you just kind of find out what effect you want for each skill to kind of give it a little bonus. I'm not exactly too sure how to get talent points. It seems I unlocked it at 49. I'm level 51 now. I got 2 additional ones. It makes it sound like you get talent points for using the mastery books, which we'll actually head on over there. You get these things. You got portal arrays. They cost depending the further distance you fly depends on how much it costs. But if you want to try and activate like every single one of them, because there's certain stuff it just makes it easier to go through. But you know, you come over here to Situs and then when you get high enough level, you actually get wings, and it's alt jump is the easy way to get onto them. I didn't know that at first. So these wings are specific from the founders packs. You do get wings through a quest, but there's a huge notable difference in the movement speed and how fast the little stamina thing at the bottom drones. So let's open up our bag here. So, you know, you got your inventory pages, expansion slot. You get backpack expanders kind of for free, so you can kind of expand that, and you get pouches and stuff to give yourself additional, you know, inventory space. But one thing you'll notice is you'll get these things called bronze shards, and you're like, okay. So if you come to Sidus over here, I probably should have just teleported to that little one right there. But you come here, and you can go here and actually use, you know, your bronze shards to buy stuff. And these annex benedictions are what's needed for skill cultivation. So once you buy them, it's actually kind of nifty. It's literally right here. You go to the one for your class, and boom. So like sword mage, and you can buy them. So I've learned all the small ones that I could, all the level 1 ones. And it makes it seem like the talent point should increase every time you use one of these, but it didn't. So that makes no sense. And these ones are just insane. 340,000 Imperial notes. You can supplement that with Imperial coins, but 340,000 just for that. And you need so many of them. It's like, what the heck? Why? This is ridiculous. It's unnecessary. So that's now let's go over the character panel real quick. So, you know, you got equipment rating, kind of to tell you how good your gear is. And then let's kind of look at the gear. So right here, you know, you got basically what everybody knows, you know, the stats that it gives you. The thing in purple, so that is, you can see max there near the top. You got kind of a familiarity level on it. And once it gets maxed out, you get that purple thing, and it could be different from you know, depending on the level and the gear. Next, you can see I got some gold gear, which I'll go over, like crafting those, how to do it, all that good fun stuff. You know, it's actually not that difficult once you get into it, because there is a quest that you can do at level 37 as long as you've been keeping up with your quests, that basically teaches you how to craft gold gear, and you craft this level 37 weapon. You know, so as you can see, the purple thing is it gives me a chance to enter bright, so 10% magic damage for 9 seconds. Pretty cool. You'll also see one difference between those is near the top right, that green, blue, blank. Those are tier levels, and you use hematite, which is a very, very valuable. Like, you use a ton of it when crafting gold gear. You can use it. I wouldn't suggest it because I'm not gonna keep these, but this is a specific accessory set, which I'll go over how to do that. And you'll notice that there's a locked thing. So I kind of tested it on here. That one doesn't have it. That's because you gradually get these, which are tier beads. And the cool thing about that is some of these items, you right-click them, and it pathfinds you to the NPC. You don't have to try to find them. So I went through. Okay, I really wasn't going to do that, but he was trying to head over there. So you can use that, unlock, you know, that was kind of something cool. And then the cool thing about this is the next, so the level 56 gold chest armor requires the level 46 one to craft it. And that's kind of interesting. I don't know how that's going to deal with the enhance, that +4. I don't know if it's going to keep it or destroy it. Looks like I'll have to I'll find out one way or another. So next we'll kind of go over here, you know, you got titles, either the combined or your achievement titles. You know, you got those. You go over sets. You can actually have different, you know, you can set up your however you want to, PvE, PvP, how you want to do things. So this is how I got my potential points. When you level up, you get a ton of potential points. And the higher points you have on the stat, the more potential points that it takes. So like you can take a whole bunch of them, you know, that took 9 out of 9, whereas this one took 7 just to do. So you see gradually less. And then if you hover over, you actually see, so each 1 point in my intelligence adds to 1 magic damage, and then every 10 points that I have to it adds 4 to zeal. So you go over to zeal and it says each point of zeal can convert an extra 1% of magic attack to magic damage. So, you know, it kind of tells you that for all of them. You know, you get brawn, additional physical defense, you know, all that good fun stuff. And then you go through and it kind of gives you a little what it is, all your little bonuses and stuff to it. And then you get a neat little rating thing over here as well. So that's enough of that. There's actually something I was gonna oh yeah, progress. So at level 49 you get like skill cultivation. Actually, I had to go back to the NPC. And you can click that to get over to the NPC to actually upgrade them. As you can see, they don't give too big of bonuses, but obviously as I go up, 59, a life force rating of 2080, that's cool. Battlefield rating of 2800. Okay, that's cool and stuff. So you gotta upgrade these. That is kind of inherent to character paths. So these are kind of slightly automatic, like they're all part of the quest line once you reach the levels, and it kind of tells you what you need to do. So you get the first one, you just need to be level 29, you get it, and it tells you what you get as the path bonus. Then next, you know, it's a little more, get at least 1 special skill level 4, which isn't too hard. You should have it by then, you know, get it up. And then the third one, learn a flying skill, channel Dow for 1 special skill. So it kind of adds more and more to it, to what you need. And once you unlock this one, the Path of the Wonder, that's when you unlock, you know, you unlock that, and you unlock skill cultivation, you know, all that good fun stuff. So next, crafting. We'll actually go over that in another episode. And stuff. As you do crafting stuff, you increase your social level. You can also hang out in hot springs and just hang out there and increase your crafting level. Factions. So these are kind of NPC stuff. As you see, I don't really do them. So you can go do quests for them, increase your faction rating. You can buy stuff from them. You know, as you build up, you can buy more stuff to them. I haven't really been doing too much in that. I mean, it's open beta. I forgot to mention that. This is only an open beta. Soul Grid. So as you level up, 29, you get your first Soul Grid. 39, you do a quest for a better Soul Grid. 49, you do a quest for this advanced Soul Grid. And you can put these crystals. Yeah, so you can put the different crystals in, you know, in here. And it's actually pretty easy, the whole combining thing. Okay, let's go back to that. Sorry about that. You just use this. You just click combine, and right here, you can combine. It actually only takes 3 of these, even though it shows 5. I guess you may need 5 later. I don't know. I've only ever combined up to a level 3, which you see that required level. That means that your character needs to be level 44 before you can even combine the level 2s to the level 3s. As weird as that is. And then you see the strength of runes right there, which you can follow that, go over here and try and get these little bonus attribute things, like set bonuses basically on that. And then on this other one, the PvE marks, I probably should have showed you it, but that's that thing near the bottom, that green thing right there, PvE marks. You just do different stuff like demon resistance, magic breaks, stuff like that, you know. So Soul Grid, that's kind of enough about that. Honor, something I really don't deal with. You can mentor people, get mentor merit, the bronze shard. Imperial Society merit, something I really don't do. Rank, another thing I really don't do, so I can't really go much into it. And then order, Demonslaying. So over here, the daily one, you won't really have to remember what one that is because I'll go over that in a bit. But here's the requirement. Like, to go up to the next demon slaying level, and you want to increase your demon slaying level, you want at least tier 3, because that's how you'll be able to purchase all your stuff for crafting gold equipment. And you want to get level 4 because there is a certain item required in most, and you need a bunch of them for like your weapon and offhand when crafting those. And you can only get 1 a week if you're tier 3 and 2 a week if you're tier 4. And the daily ones, you get 100 merit a day. And then you can get the weekly ones, additional ones. So it's a pain. It's such a pain. Like, it's going to take forever to craft the gold stuff. So that's all the character windows. So next up here, you got the daily, you got your road to greatness, which kind of tells you what you can do. In the hot springs, you can actually eat stuff, which I actually have something like that right here. Oh wait, no, that's just that was just for favor. So you get items that will increase your favor. So you can craft or buy food and alcohol for the hot springs, which gives you EXP over time. Trial of the Four Kings is a huge XP one. You go through, it's solo, and you basically, it tells you what you need to do. A lot of them are like, kill this enemy, but you get some different stuff amongst it as well. The Guardian Trials, you can either do one of these, either or, once a day. You have to do one or the other, you know, or at least that's what something I'll show you. We'll tell you. Daily tokens that you just go to the spot, and this is, you do this every day and you get 100 of the Demonslayer merit. So it's a it randomly assigns you a dungeon. So that's how that is. And scour dungeons. So this is basically your daily XP grind spot area. The only thing I don't agree with, let me see if I can, is the number of kills is refreshed by 180 daily. And it's not that at reset it'll refresh the 180 kills. It's 24 hours after you did your kills will it refresh the kills. I find that to be dumb. That's kind of stupid. But there's nothing you can do about it. And in the Scour Dungeons, especially in the Oneric Trials, well, you can get your Situs Dows in there. You know, that's how you can kind of farm those. You can also buy them, which I'll show you at a later time. And you get Hematite 1s in there. So that's how you get those, you know. And then the Phlogistons are used in Equipment Fort, which I'll go over when I'm talking about crafting gold gear. And make sure to get, when you get armor and stuff, to always salvage them. You're guaranteed at 100 Imperial notes every time you do it, but there's a small chance to get Hematite from that. So it's kind of something you want to do. And then the last thing I'm going to go over, kind of like this basic overview, is if the hotkey is O, but it brings up your dungeon and your event stuff. So kind of like daily tokens, entries 1 out of 3. Am I able to do this multiple times a day? I'm not sure. I've actually never tried it. But yeah, you can go see the different, these are just the different events that you can do. So, you know, Guardian Trials. Right here, I did Tower of Pain, which is 1 out of 1, but it made this 1 out of 1. I prefer to do Tower of Pain just over this, because it's much more, I mean, this is a wave-based type deal. Like every 4 waves, you fight a boss. This one is, you get to a floor, you fight bosses, and as you climb up the floors, you fight more and more bosses. And then you can go over here on the dungeons, and like Deserted Shrine, this is the one you want to do. I guess I can do, I guess I should run Trial just because of the Phlogistons and the Demonic Dows and such. But you can do 1 hard a day, I think it is. And then you can do 3 of these a week, which you need to do your expert shrines. Like, you need to. Because that's where you get the Soul Mist is required to purchase the stuff to buy your gold gear. or to craft your gold, to buy the materials to craft your gold gear. And I guess you get a chance to actually get the equipment. I personally don't know, and I've never gotten any PvE marks. So that's kind of it for my kind of like intro and stuff. Time went by kind of fast on this. I didn't get to go over as much as I wanted to, but you know what? It's all good. So I'm going to keep doing these little tutorial stuff for you guys. You know, if you want to play, you can come to North American server Tusenwood. Alright, so I know I already ended, like I actually ended this episode before, which is why I'm suddenly in another spot, but I just remembered something. I realized something that I completely forgot to add on there. So if you press the hotkey N, you get to this part. This actually needs to be part of the little tutorial thing. So you got all these little doodads here, ride wings. So what I want you to do is mark socketing. That's when you right click, you put the piece of equipment in there, and then you select what you want to do it. I don't need to, it's kind of self-explanatory, and then you can do it for extracting. Next, equipment fortification. So as you can notice, the difference from this and this is that thing at the top right. Once it gets maxed out, that's how you go through and you increase the tier for that. And then talisman imbuing, I've actually had no dealings with talismans. Let me see. Go right here, you can set up your stall. And yeah, that's all that I wanted to show you from here, hotkey. And you know, you can do all those fancy little stuff. You got your expressions, secondary skills, and intimacy skills from there. So that's all I wanted to add onto it. So that's all the time I have for this episode. If you enjoyed watching, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next of times. Goodbye.